Good morning, everyone. I want to talk about moving from fear to faith. There are many reasons we might be wrestling with fear these days, but for most of us, it's just not helpful to try and talk ourselves out of being afraid. When we push fear down in one area, it seems to pop up in another. Fear has a way of multiplying itself. But Scripture shows us repeatedly that moving from fear to faith is a process. Sorry, no quick fixes. But the process is quite simple to understand. And Jesus puts it this way: do not be afraid, because I am with you. It's that simple and that hard. The presence of Jesus is the bridge from fear to faith. I've been wondering lately if there is such a thing as a fear that is the beginning of all other fears. Is there a sort of fountainhead fear? If there is, then it's the fear of weakness. We are taught in every song, in every pithy quote, in every news highlight that to be strong, to have a can-do spirit are all we need to succeed. Yet Paul, who is perhaps the most powerful evangelist of all time, wrote these words: I will boast about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Here's that same sort of scriptural pattern. When I am unable, Jesus is able. When I am weak, Jesus is strong. When I am afraid, Jesus' presence and power are available. This passage I just quoted is from 2 Corinthians 12, and it gives us even more insight because Jesus says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is strongest when you are weak. The bridge then that moves us from fear to faith is constructed of the grace that Jesus provides. To move from fear to faith, we've got to cross that bridge, to test it, to test this grace, and to step out of fear and onto the bridge, trusting it will hold us up. Even while we may be wondering, is His grace going to be sufficient? Will His power show up when I'm feeling weak? It's only when we come to the very edge of ourselves, our own inner resources, that we fall into the hands of the living God. When we come to the end of ourselves and we step out of our own abilities, it's there and then that Jesus' power and ability become most visible and tangible to us and to others. We move from fear to faith then across the bridge of His grace. His grace is sufficient. His grace will hold us up.